The wind howled low across the Wyoming plains as the last edge of daylight bled into darkness. The old ranch stood quiet under the heavy clouds, its fences groaning in the cold wind and the faint glow of the cabin window flickering like a promise against the night. Inside, Caleb Thornton moved with slow purpose, hanging his hat on the peg and shaking the rain from his coat. His boots left muddy prints across the wooden floor as he turned toward the stranger sitting stiffly by the fire. He had found her just before dusk, wandering near the creek that cut through his land. Her dress was torn, her hair tangled and dripping, her hands trembling from the chill. She hadn't spoken at first, just stared at him with wide, uncertain eyes as if she couldn't tell if he was real or just another shadow of the plains. But when she stumbled, he caught her, and that's when he saw the cloth wrapped tightly around her arm. Now, in the warmth of the cabin, she still clutched that arm to her chest. The cloth was soaked dark in places, a deep reddish brown, but her grip around it was fierce. Caleb crouched near her, setting a tin cup of hot coffee on the table beside her shaking hands. "You're safe here," he said quietly. "Ain't no one around for miles. What happened to you out there?" Her lips trembled. "My wagon broke near the ridge. I was with others, but when the storm came, she trailed off, staring into the fire as though afraid of what memory might crawl out." Caleb waited, giving her space. He had seen his share of people running from something. The frontier was full of ghosts that wore human faces. Still, there was something different about her, something in her stillness, like she was holding back more than fear. "You're bleeding," he said, nodding toward her arm. "Let me take a look." Her eyes snapped to his, sharp and panicked. "No," she gasped, clutching the arm tighter. Her voice was hoarse, desperate. "Please, don't remove the cloth." He froze. The way she said it, pleading, almost trembling, made him uneasy. He softened his tone. "I ain't gonna hurt you, ma'am. But that bandage looks bad. If there's a cut under there, you need it cleaned before it festers." Her breathing quickened. "You don't understand," she whispered. "If you see what's beneath it, you'll wish you hadn't." Caleb frowned. He'd seen bullet wounds, branding scars, snake bites, but nothing worth that kind of fear. He picked up a clean rag from the counter, dipped it into warm water, and came closer. "Sometimes things get worse if you keep them hidden," he said, his voice low, steady. She shook her head, tears beginning to gather in her eyes. "Please, just leave it. I'm begging you." He hesitated, watching her chest rise and fall in frightened breaths. The firelight caught the edge of her cheek, and for a moment he almost stopped. But the part of him that couldn't stand to see someone hurt, someone helpless, pushed him forward. "All right," he said gently. "Just a quick look, that's all." He reached out. Her body stiffened. The cloth was damp beneath his fingers, cold and heavy with old blood. Slowly, carefully, he began to unwind it. Each turn revealed more of her pale skin, and the air seemed to grow thicker, the shadows leaning closer to the fire's glow. She turned her face away, whispering something he couldn't catch. The last layer came loose, and Caleb's hand froze. Her arm wasn't wounded. Her skin shimmered beneath the firelight, threaded with faint, glowing lines that pulsed like veins of silver. Strange symbols shifted and flowed just beneath her flesh, alive and moving with every heartbeat. He stumbled back, heart pounding, breath caught in his throat. She turned her tear-streaked face toward him and said softly, "Now you've seen it, and it's too late." The pale light of dawn crept across the plains, turning the horizon into a thin, silvery blade. The storm had passed, leaving the ranch wrapped in an uneasy stillness. Inside the cabin, the fire had burned down to glowing embers. Caleb sat slouched in a chair, his rifle resting against his knee, eyes fixed on the woman lying on his cot. He hadn't closed his eyes once that night. Every time he tried, he saw that light again, the strange, shimmering veins running through her arm, the symbols that pulsed like a heartbeat in the dark. She stirred just as the first rays of sun slipped through the window. Her eyes opened slowly, heavy with exhaustion. When she saw him still there, watching, she pushed herself upright, clutching the blanket to her chest. Her arm was covered again, but he could still see the faint glow beneath the fabric. "You should have left me where you found me," she said, her voice weak but steady. "Now it'll find me here." Caleb straightened. "What'll find you?" She looked past him, to the window where the mist clung to the grass outside. "The ones who did this. They call themselves men, but they're not. Not anymore. They took something from me, and they won't stop until they have it back." Caleb's brows furrowed. "What did they take?" She lifted her bandaged arm slightly. This isn't a wound, it's what they were after. It's what I am. He frowned, shaking his head. You're talkin' like it's some kind of curse. Her lips curved into a small, broken smile. A curse would have been kinder. This is a mark, older than anything you've heard of. They wanted to use it, control it. I escaped before they finished. But when you unwrapped it, she stopped, closing her eyes briefly. You woke it. The silence that followed was deep enough to hear the fire's faint hiss. Caleb ran a hand down his face, trying to make sense of it. The rational part of him, the part that believed in hard work and solid ground, told him she was delirious. But the memory of that glow, the hum in the air, the symbols shifting under her skin, told him otherwise. He turned to the window. The mist was breaking now, revealing the open stretch of land that led to the ridge. For a moment, everything was still. Then he saw movement, 3 dark figures on horseback, riding hard through the fog. He cursed under his breath. You said they'd find you. Guess you were right. Her face went pale. It's too soon, she whispered. I thought we had more time. Caleb grabbed his rifle and checked the chamber. You can stay here and hide. I'll deal with whoever they are. No, she said sharply, standing despite the weakness in her legs. You don't understand. Bullets won't stop them. He glanced back, jaw tight. Maybe not, but I'm damn well gonna try. She stepped closer, her hand glowing faintly through the cloth. If they reach me, they'll take what's inside. And when they do, there won't be a world left to save. He met her eyes, saw the truth there, not madness, not fear, but certainty. Then he nodded once. Then I guess we make our stand. The pounding of hooves grew louder. The first rider came into view, face pale as bone, eyes glinting like glass. Caleb raised his rifle, took aim, and fired. The shot echoed through the valley. The rider fell but rose again, dragging himself forward as if death were just an inconvenience. The woman stepped beside Caleb, her arm blazing with sudden light. Move, she whispered. He barely had time to turn before the world erupted in brilliance. A surge of energy tore through the air, knocking the riders back in a wave of light and thunder. When the brightness faded, they were gone, only scorched earth remained where they'd stood. Caleb looked at her, breathless, the rifle slipping from his hands. She swayed, her glow dimming, eyes heavy with exhaustion. You shouldn't have helped me, she murmured. He caught her before she fell. Too late for that, he said quietly. She gave him a faint, trembling smile. Then you'd better be ready. They'll come again, and next time, it won't just be for me. Outside, the wind began to rise once more, whispering across the plains like a warning.